Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please excuse me wearing sunglasses in today's video. I am sitting in front of a very large window and it is very bright. However, I have to sit in front of the window so that you guys can see me because I don't have professional lighting and all that fancy stuff. So I'm pulling a Casey Neistat and I'm wearing sunglasses. So today I will be sharing my experience with Hashimoto's disease, kind of what it took to get diagnosed, my symptoms, how I'm doing since then. You get the gist. So I was officially diagnosed with Hashimoto's in October of 2017, and trying to get that diagnosis was not easy at all. I kept getting the runaround from the doctors. But first, let me start with my symptoms. So about a year before getting diagnosed, so we thinking around October of 2016, I started to feel really fatigued. Like I could sleep 18 hours a day and I would still be tired. And like my stamina, I did not have stamina to do anything. I would walk from my office, which I'm in now, to my bedroom, and it's not very far from each other, and I would be completely winded. It would make me feel like I had just done a 5K. I also dealt with really bad dizziness, concentration issues. At the time, I was working full-time and in school full-time. It was my first semester. Somehow I got a 3.8 GPA my first semester, and I don't know how, you guys. Like, I honestly don't know how that happened, because I would sit in front of my computer and just completely stare off into space. And when I think back now, I really don't know how I even passed that first semester. I also dealt with hair loss. I was losing hair by the handfuls. It seemed like my wife told me at one point that when my hair was down, she could see my scalp, and that was very nerve-wracking. Made me extremely upset, and not at her, but at the fact that I was losing my hair as bad as I was. And I was also losing my eyebrows. Like, I don't know if you can see, excuse me as I look in the viewfinder, they've kind of come back, but I basically had nothing on each side of my eyebrows. So yeah, those were the main symptoms, but I feel like I also had probably like 20 or 30 other things that were going on that didn't make any sense, like muscle twitches, muscle cramps, sleep issues. I was having weird skin issues at the time too. Like I was breaking out in these like rashes on the back of my legs that didn't make any sense. So I started to go to a few different doctors to try and get an answer, because I knew that there was something going on that just wasn't right. First doctor I went to looked me in the face, told me that my only issue was that I was depressed, and tried to put me on antidepressants, which I refused to do because I knew that it wasn't depression. Like, I thought to myself, there's absolutely no way that breaking out with skin issues and losing your hair is depression related, at least not from my experience, because I dealt with depression as a teenager. So I never went back to see him, because not only did he try and just put me on antidepressants without, trying to run blood work or anything, but he was also very condescending. I went to another doctor who tried to tell me, again without running blood work, that I was diabetic, and he hadn't even tested my A1C or my fasting glucose or anything, which I am not diabetic. So if I would have started the insulin at his request, I probably would have died. And then the last doctor I went to before finding my doctor was, she told me that I needed to exercise, lose weight, and eat better, and that all of my issues were weight related. And again, she was very condescending. She just did not want to listen to anything I had to say. So I started asking around for suggestions on a good doctor, a doctor that would actually take their time to listen to what I had to say and not just brush me off as some fat girl with depression, basically. And I ended up finding my doctor. She's still my doctor. She's actually treats everybody in my family now at this point. And I went and saw her, and I told her what was going on. She listened to everything I had to say. She was not condescending. She was very kind. I told her that thyroid issues are very prevalent in the females on my mom's side of the family. My mom has actually had a complete thyroidectomy, and I believe I have another aunt that had a thyroidectomy, and then two aunts that are on thyroid replacement hormone. So she ended up running all of the proper blood work, and because of that, she saw that I do indeed have Hashimoto's disease. My TSH and all of that was normal at the time. However, I did have thyroid antibodies, which if you have those, your body is attacking your thyroid because it's an autoimmune disease, and it can just cause you a lot of symptoms. And I was getting all of those symptoms. Not all of them. Some people deal with worse, but I was dealing with a lot of debilitating symptoms. So at that appointment, she also diagnosed me with iron deficiency anemia, a vitamin D, and a vitamin B12 deficiency. We talked over everything that I needed to do. She started me on all the supplements that I needed to take in order to improve my iron and B12 and D, and she also suggested to me to go gluten-free, and I did the very next day, which was something major for me, because if you know me and who I am, I thought for many years when everybody started talking about how they were going gluten-free, I thought it was just like a fad diet, you know, and I thought people were trying to do it to lose weight, but I was obviously not educated on the matter. So I educated myself, and I started reading any article that I could get my hands on, any book. I was watching videos, and basically anything that I can do to educate myself on Hashimoto's. And I'm really glad that I took the time after being diagnosed to do that. I started to feel human probably within 2 weeks to a month, and slowly over time. Now we're at the over 2 year mark, and I feel like I probably for the past year have had the stamina that I had before, and I can go out and do things, and I'm a lot more social, and I'm extremely active because I have a 2-year-old son. And if you have children, you don't have time to sit down and do anything. So I'm constantly up and playing with him and going out and doing stuff with my wife and, with my son. And I'm really, really thankful that I found my doctor when I did, because it got to the point that I was telling my wife and my mom that I felt like I was dying. Like, I felt like I was suffering a slow, miserable death because I could not do anything anymore. I was just so sick. And I know what I was going through is nothing compared to what other people were going through, but for me it was a very bad experience. So I also went dairy free for about 6 to 8 months to help again with inflammation. And I was also getting chronic ear infections too. So anyways, I went dairy free. That helped. When I dropped gluten out of my diet, I also dropped 40 pounds within probably about 2 to 3 months. So it was a drastic weight loss, and it was very quick, but it was because I was losing all this inflammation that I was holding on from consuming the gluten. Going gluten-free also helped me get rid of the GERD that I was dealing with for probably about, let's say, 8 years prior. And so far with diet modification, supplementing, vitamins and minerals, and eating better and exercise, I have not had to be put on thyroid replacement hormones. My TSH comes back really good. My antibodies have actually drastically dropped. They are now like a third or a fourth of what they were when I was originally diagnosed. So they say that you can't put Hashimoto's into remission. Other people say that they have. That is my ultimate goal, but as long as I am able to function and I'm able to get up every day and take care of my son and play with my son, that is really what I am striving for. And if I have to be put on thyroid replacement hormone in order to do that, even after all the modifications to my lifestyle that I've made, then I'm totally okay with that. Like, you have to do what you have to do in order to live, in order to feel good. So yeah, that's my experience. There's honestly so much more to it, but I don't want to have a 3-hour video because honestly nobody's gonna watch it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around if you've stuck around this far. If you have any comments or you're dealing with the same type of thing, leave a comment down below. I would love to connect with you. Or you can find me over on Instagram at Hashimoto Mama. I will leave the link down below in the description box as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And I hope I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks. Bye.